The Chiefs game is far behind us, and now we look forward to the Las Vegas Raiders. What's up, everybody? Welcome into Ravens Rundown. I'm your host, Joey Petersen. The home opener coming up on Sunday. Ravens opening up as 8.5-point favorites, which honestly, I kind of think that's a little disrespectful. I think we should be 10-point favorites. We'll get into that a little bit more. But before we go into any injury updates, anything about this upcoming game, I got a little promo for you guys. A little challenge. Who can spam F Mitch the most in the comment section? Mitch is the host of the Raiders Report. Obviously, you know we're going to take him down the sub battle. Whoever spams F Mitch most in the comment section gets a free raffle entry in Sunday's raffle during the live stream. So who can do it? You guys hit the comment section right now. See how many times you can get it in. Before we get into anything about the actual game, I've got an update for you guys on Lamar Jackson and the fact that he wasn't at practice yesterday. Adam Schefter went on the Pat McAfee show. He said, "My understanding is he needed an extra day. Sore and beat up from the game against the Chiefs." And we knew it wasn't probably not a huge deal. I kind of was telling everybody yesterday, okay, let's calm down. He's going to be okay. Things are going to figure themselves out. He's probably just a little beat up against the Chiefs, from the game against the Chiefs. Because we saw how many times he tucked it and ran it. We saw him truck a dude, which was awesome. However, it hurts your body, right? He's sore. He's beat up. Quarterbacks don't get hit in training camp. He hasn't gotten hit like he did on Thursday since January. And so, yes, it's good that it's not a serious injury, but also it's early in the season. You kind of hope he has maybe just a little bit. Hopefully this week gets him right. But let's talk about the matchup against the Raiders. They're coming in off of a 10-22 loss against the Chargers. They scored 10 points in that game. So far, their points per game average, I know it's only through 1 week, 31st in the NFL, only behind the Panthers. We're sitting about middle of the pack in both those things. So let's see how they shaped up against the Chargers on Sunday. Well, score was 22-10. They lost as Jim Harbaugh won his opener as the coach for the Chargers. Gardner Minshew didn't have a bad game, 257 yards and a touchdown. However, they couldn't really run the ball. Justin Herbert had a fine game, but J.K. Dobbins was the star of that one. And we'll talk about that one just coming up shortly. But my first key to victory in Joey's keys to victory, we're trademarking that, am I right, guys, is show up. And I don't want to seem cocky, and I don't want to seem like okay, I'm wrapping this thing right up right now, and we're moving on to week 3. But, guys, you're the better team. Straight up. The Ravens are better at almost every single position on the football field. I'd say the only glaring difference is they've got a better wide receiver in Davante Adams. And I love Zay Flowers, but Davante Adams is one of the best in the NFL. And they've got a better pass rusher in Max Crosby. But you're the better team. And the thing is, too, and this goes into Lamar Jackson's injury, you're coming off of 10 days of rest. Right? You're more rested than they are. They're not off a short week. They still got the full 7 days, but you got 3 days extra, which might make the whole difference in Lamar being able to play and him coming back from being sore. But before I get into it, what is your score prediction for Sunday? Let me know in the comment section down below. If you get hit with a YouTube ad break, just go ahead, scroll down, let me know your score prediction. I love seeing those, and we'll get on with my next key to victory, and that is make the Raiders pass the ball. Guys, they don't have a good quarterback room. That's just straight up. They got Gardner Minshew, and they got Aiden O'Connell. Not only do they have one of the worst starting quarterbacks in the NFL, in my opinion, but they also don't have that great of a backup either. They trotted him out last year. And I know Raiders fans are kind of crazy, and they're saying, Aiden O'Connell might be better than Gardner Minshew. He's not. But what we gotta make sure of is that there's no Minshew magic. Because it seems like Gardner Minshew, kind of in the way that Ryan Fitzpatrick was, if you can kind of remember his career, it seems like he's always good for 1 or 2 games where he just goes absolutely nuclear and they win a game that they're not supposed to. You have to make sure that doesn't happen in this one. Make them throw the ball, take away the run, make Gardner Minshew beat you against what we think is the best pass defense in the country. I know there's a broken coverage against the Chiefs. I know there were missed assignments here and there, but that was also week 1. But you got to make Gardner Minshew throw the football against Brandon Stevens, against Nate Wiggins, against Marcus Williams, against Kyle Hamilton, against all those cats. Make them throw, take away their running game. Now, before we move on to my 3 final keys to victory, I got to give a shout out to today's sponsor. And of course, with the football season back in full swing, that is Game Time. Game Time is the place to go to get the best seats at the lowest prices guaranteed. Today's show is sponsored by Game Time. And if you're excited the season's here and want to get tickets to the big game locked down, you're going to want to give Game Time a shot. Game Time is the only place I go when I'm trying to get tickets to any college football or NFL game. Game Time has a new feature called Game Time Picks that makes getting tickets to see your favorite teams play live even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. The tool highlights the best deals, including great and amazing deals, which are the highest value seats at the time. For some events, Game Time Picks also identifies a super deal, which is the best seat value in the venue. Hey guys, the Ravens are finally back in the bank this week, and I could not be more excited. They've got fresh, new, low-price tickets for Raiders vs. Ravens. All you got to do is go onto the Game Time app. You'll see the prices listed. Click into a ticket, and this is the best part, right? It says this is a super deal. You found one of Game Time Picks' super deals, so take advantage of it. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CHETSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CHATSPORTS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? Game time. So I mentioned him already, and I think this is a big thing to look at, is you got to minimize Max Crosby. You got to minimize Max, which I know those two words contradict each other, but you have to. When you look at the career that he's had and you look at the seasons he's been able to stack up, especially in the last 2 years, with having over 85 tackles in each of those, having over 21 tackles for loss in each of those, and over 12 sacks in each of those. He's a guy who can change a game. And he's going against an offensive line who, guys, I know in our minds, we think that they really, really struggled on Thursday. And there were some good and there were some bad. Here's the grades, right? 67.5 for Ronnie Stanley. Pretty great. Andrew Voorhees, 58.3. Not so great. Tyler Linderbaum, 73.8. He's a monster. And this is their overall grades. Daniel Faalele, 60.6. Patrick McCarry and Roger Rosengarten, 57.7 and 44.4. Not great, Jim. However, when you break it down against the rest of the league, it seems like we're kind of complaining about nothing. Not about nothing. They had their shortcomings, but this tweet from Jonas Schaefer, when looking at against everybody else for pass blocking, they were rated 2nd by ESPN win rate and 8th by PFF in grade. Run blocking, this is where they struggled, 22nd by ESPN and 21st by PFF. And then Ronnie Stanley and Tyler Linderbaum tied for 1st at their positions in ESPN's pass block win rate. So you got to take care of Max Crosby, and the way you do that is you got to step up on that offensive line, right? Similar to how you play with Chris Jones. I know Chris Jones wrecked a lot, and I know Max is on the exterior and Chris is on the interior, so they play different positions, but you got to target him. So you kind of hope he's going against Ronnie Stanley all night and not Patrick McCarry or Roger Rosengarten. And that gets to my next point when we talked about the run blocking, is you got to get the run game going. Whether that's with Derrick Henry, whether that's with Justice Hill, heck, whether that's with Lamar Jackson, you got to get going. Let's take a look at the run block grades from these players, from the offensive line, because for some guys it got better, and for the guys who it wasn't that great in the pass blocking or in the overall grades, it got worse. Ronnie Stanley, 72.9. Tyler Linderbaum, 80.9. But then you look at Andrew Voorhees with a 51. Daniel Faalele with a 55. Patrick McCarry and Roger Rosengarten with a 53.2 and a 48.2. That's not good enough. That's not going to cut it. You have one of the best running backs in your backfield of the last 10 years. You have the best rushing quarterback in the history of the NFL. You got to block better than that. You got to move people. And you look how they stacked up against Kansas City. I know Lamar Jackson ended up with more rush yards than that, but this is of the actual design rushing plays he had. 16 carries, 52 yards. Derrick Henry, 13 carries, 46 yards. Justice Hill, only 1 carry for 3 yards. So it wasn't great. I'm going to be honest with you. It wasn't great. But the thing about the Raiders is they just got gashed in the run game. Absolutely gashed. And it was by a familiar face. It was J.K. Dobbins. But he went for over 130 with a touchdown as well, which good for him. But you got a couple of backs who can do the same. So you got to get the run game going. You got to make that a part of your offense because that just helps the pass game in general. Before I get on to my last point, y'all should go ahead and hit that subscribe button, right? Hopefully, if you've stuck with us this long, you might be liking what you're seeing. We put out a video every single day. We cover anything breaking news. We have weekly watch parties for every game throughout the entire season. And the best part is, guys, it's all free. I don't want to say that too loud. I don't want anybody else to hear except you guys. It's all free. So join the over 18,000 Ravens fans that we've got rocking with us here on Ravens Rundown. And go ahead, hit that subscribe button. My last one is take away Davante Adams. He is maybe the best wide receiver over the last 5 years in football. I think when you look at his career, what he's been able to do, and yes, he took advantage of playing with one of the best quarterbacks ever in Aaron Rodgers. But man, 4 straight seasons over 1,100 yards. The last 4 seasons, 18 touchdowns, then 11, then 14 and 8. He was able to receive for over 1,100 yards last year with the absolute crap show that they're throwing out there at quarterback. He's the definition of a game wrecker. And he's their only elite weapon on offense. So if you take them away, what else can they do, right? Zamir White struggled running the football. They struggled as a team running the football. So if you can take care of Davante Adams, if you can bracket him off, if you can eliminate him from this game, you got a really good chance at putting up a lot of points against the Raiders and not letting them put up a lot of points against you. And that brings me to my score prediction. I'm going to stick with what I said 2 weeks ago. This one's not going to change. I'm thinking 38-10. I'm thinking 4 touchdowns the Ravens win this one by for multiple reasons. It's at home. It's against who I believe is one of the worst teams in the NFL. They've got one of the worst quarterbacks in the NFL. And you're coming off a brutal and crushing season opener loss. And I think everybody's just looking to get right and get back in that win column. So give me 38-10. You guys let me know down below what yours is. As well as that, I've got to win by 4. Do you think they win by at least 2 touchdowns on Sunday? What do you think? I think so. Again, I got them by 4. So you let me know down there in the comment section. Thanks so much for tuning in. Cannot wait for this game to kick off on Sunday. And remember, I'll be live, so make sure to join me then.